Yes, nothing quite like Buffalo in January as we welcome you inside a snowy New Era field on the shores of Lake Erie. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
On the double. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. Me and you on game. Ready?
They'll run on first down. McFarland. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They were looking for Marshall that time, and it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
To throw on third down, Lawrence. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Matt Gay on for the extra point. Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. First down, Swift. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A big play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now 14-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That throw into the arms of Allen. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Okay, ready? Check, 47.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
47, check back 47. You. Ready?
Now back to throw. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And that touchdown drive happened very, very quickly. You knew that they had the quick strike ability. They showed it.
And for a defense that understands that, it still drives them crazy when it actually happens to them. Fast and furious, there came the points.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. Still a lot of football left in that affair, but we will for sure keep an eye on it. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Second and 5. Throwing right, and that's complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there with his 16th touchdown of the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded at the 2. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. That kick return TD is 98 yards in length, and the Ravens have taken the lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. On second down now, Swift. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. You're running
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. As his guys are in for 6 as the Ravens push further out in front. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Gay is on for the point after. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 2nd and 1. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Let's go.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
26
Operating from the gun, Lawrence taking a shot here for Marshall. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Lawrence. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And that is going to be a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets. A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Taking a shot here for Marshall. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Marshall, the intended receiver. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. is not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Bills on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here. So nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a foot.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
I'm coming for you. You mine. Rock it. March 47. Come on.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
You're not ready. 47's the mic. Bravo! You must be dreaming. 47's the mic, boy. 47. Let's go.
Looking to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Allen's got it complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
47, Mike. 47, Mike. Mike, 47.
They'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Intended for Jake Buck. Incomplete. It's now 3rd down and long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Get in the weight room. Scene 6. 47. Check.
He'll look to throw. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Intended for Keenan Allen. Incomplete. Results in a 4th down.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Mike's 47.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
Ready? 8, read. Defense wins championships, baby. Gone. Under crunch. Let's go.
The final shot before break. Lawrence. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
9 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
I'm coming after you.
They'll set up a throw. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down. So coming up empty here to start the 3rd quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Back to throw. Lawrence. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Looking to throw. Lawrence. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. Watch twist.
Back to throw here. That's complete to Jake Butt. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Mike 47. Let's go, D.
He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 43.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
He'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Jake Butt, the tight end, his intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They were looking for Marshall that time.
The Bills take over 1st and 10.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's go, defense.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now back to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And now here is another interception. He's picked off at his own 46 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Ready. Turn 2 saw.
You don't want none.
Hey, Delta.
26 Mike.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards that time. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
26 Mike. Gotta do better.
2nd and 6. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 23. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 46. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Lawrence. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick, but to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that, the process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. 2nd and 15. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Hey, Charlie.
Off play action. Lawrence. And he's going to go down again.
It's been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And the Colts have scored again to widen their lead even further. They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Hey, exit.
26, Mike. 26, Mike.
6-6, pull it high. Ready.
They'll run on first down. McFarland. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 31-yard line.
X3, 218, chopper. Now.
They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Baltimore, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.